Now to a developing story in Forest Hill where police are investigating a deadly shooting.
A father and his little girl were killed, the area's third deadly shooting in just the past few weeks.
In a shocking and brutal incident that would send tremors through the Forest Hill community, a 30-year-old devoted father and his innocent 5-year-old daughter were mercilessly gunned down in broad daylight at a local car wash. The crime scene presents a haunting tableau of forensic precision. Dozens of evidence markers meticulously placed around a maroon Dodge Challenger.
30-year-old man and his 5-year-old daughter were murdered at a car wash in the Fort Worth suburb of Forest Hill.
Its interior frozen in a moment of interrupted normalcy. A vacuum cleaner abandoned in the front seat.
Sky 4 video shows dozens of evidence markers around a maroon Challenger. Also a vacuum still laying in the front seat.
Symbolizing the abrupt and violent interruption of a mundane family moment. He was just a good man, a family guy who rapped, a pillar of his community who used music as an avenue of expression. He wasn't looking for trouble. Neighbors and friends describe him as the type of father who would go out of his way to provide, to protect, to love. A man whose aspirations extended far beyond the street narratives often associated with local rap artists. The victim was identified as Chucky Smith, known professionally in the local rap scene by his stage name G Money Lil Ronnie, a moniker that represented not just his musical identity, but his connection to the community. Despite the most desperate, urgent, and intensive life-saving attempts by responding police officers who arrived within moments of the shooting, both the young father and his precious 5-year-old daughter were ultimately and tragically pronounced dead at the precise, blood-stained location where they were so violently attacked.
And while he was vacuuming his interior, the shooters approached on foot and opened fire.
The attack unfolded with calculated brutality, while Lil Ronnie was engaged in the most mundane of tasks, cleaning his car, a routine activity that would become his final moment. Shocking surveillance footage captured a terrifying sequence, shooters approaching with cold, determined precision, firing at extremely close range. Ronnie, driven by instinct and a primal desire to survive, attempted to flee across the parking lot as gunshots shattered the afternoon's tranquility. Cornered near a grimy dumpster with no avenue of escape, Ronnie faced his attackers, who returned with a chilling intent to continue their brutal, merciless assault. Now the first suspect, 24-year-old Adonis Robinson, emerged as a deeply troubled individual with a disturbing criminal history. A previously convicted offender who had been released from prison in August 2024, Robinson's past was marked by serious assault charges and repeated failures to comply with mandatory offender registration requirements, a pattern that highlighted significant gaps in the judicial system's ability to monitor and rehabilitate offenders. The second suspect, 21-year-old Jacoby Russell, presented an equally concerning profile of sustained violent behavior. His criminal record revealed a troubling trajectory of aggressive actions, including multiple weapon charges and a history of violent assault. In 2023, he had been convicted of brutally beating his child's mother, a preceding act of violence that now seemed to foreshadow the horrific crime against Lil Ronnie and his daughter. His violence has become disturbingly normalized, particularly within certain cultural and socioeconomic circles, a pervasive cancer that eats away at the fabric of community trust and individual safety. The constant, omnipresent threat of violence systematically strips fathers of their most fundamental right, the ability to feel secure while simply existing with their children. Each violent act doesn't just end lives, it destroys potential, shatters family structures, and perpetuates cycles of trauma.
It's become normal for anyone involved in hip-hop, from rappers to producers to even DJs, to expect violence.
Without robust, comprehensive support systems and meaningful pathways to rehabilitation, individuals find themselves trapped in destructive cycles with seemingly no alternative. Understanding the root causes of violence becomes not just academic or philosophical, but a critical, urgent necessity for societal transformation. We must dig deeper than surface-level punitive measures, exploring the complex social, economic, and psychological factors that breed such devastating outcomes. Jamin Jones, the grieving mother of the 5-year-old girl who was tragically murdered alongside her rapper father, G Money Lil Ronnie, stands resolute in her approach to mourning, choosing to process her unimaginable loss on her own terms. Despite facing public criticism, She remains unapologetic about expressing her grief through a display of financial empowerment. Following initial backlash surrounding her daughter Armani's designer funeral attire, Jones escalated her statement at a block party-style balloon release memorial. Her approach challenges traditional mourning narratives, presenting a complex portrayal of grief that refuses to be confined by societal expectations. This tragedy represents far more than a singular criminal act. It is a critical, defining moment demanding profound societal reflection and immediate action. No parent should ever be forced to live under the terrifying possibility of losing their life while performing the most mundane, everyday tasks, like washing a car. True accountability extends exponentially beyond simplistic punitive measures. It requires a comprehensive, nuanced approach to social transformation that addresses systemic inequalities, provides genuine rehabilitation opportunities, and creates meaningful support structures for communities most affected by cyclical violence. We must find an intricate, delicate balance between maintaining public safety and offering authentic, compassionate pathways to personal redemption. Each life lost represents not just an individual tragedy, but a collective failure of our social systems, a failure that demands our most urgent and sustained attention. This heartbreaking incident transcends mourning. It is a powerful, urgent call to action that demands we reimagine our approach to community safety, individual support, and systemic change. Stay aware, stay compassionate, and most critically, commit yourselves to creating tangible, meaningful, positive change.